Hi guys. Looks like everybody's sleeping. I know it's been a long conference. It's second day to it, and so thanks for joining me. I'm Thomas Wong. I'm head of East Asia at Vivox. We do voice chat for online multiplayer games. Where's the clicker, by the way? Yeah, you haven't tell me yet.
This is the clicker.
Okay, just where's going front or
yeah, back? This is forward, this is back. Okay. Point that way.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Got it. So, who's Vivox? We are a leading provider of voice chat for online games, and I would say we have been around since 2005, and so we've been working in voice chat for over 14 years. In January of this year, we get acquired by Unity, so we're now a part of Unity, and we have been working on some of the biggest games in the world, which you guys probably have heard of before. Our biggest client is Fortnite. So I'm sure, how many of you have played Fortnite here? Please raise your hand. Well, less than I thought. So also PUBG, Overwatch, actually all Blizzard games use us. And then also Rainbow Siege, League of Legends, World of Tanks, World of Warships, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, World of Warcraft, and so on. We have been very successful in the West, and starting in 2017, we have started working on the Korean and Japanese market. So we signed Bluehole, which is now Craft-On, in 2017, and we signed Nixon's actually in this year, and we also signed NHN in Korea as well. So I would like a show of hands. How many of you guys here are actually making multiplayer games? One. Like everybody's making single player games or casual games? Ouch. Okay, two. Thank you. Of course, Game Love. We love you. Okay, let's go on. The reason why we want to do voice chat inside game is that it strongly increases your engagement and retention. For example, we found out that for games which the players which use voice chat, their time in game versus non-voice players is 2x. And in week 5, people who actually spend time in speaking in games is 5x likely to stay compared to non-voice players in week 5. And these are consistent among all titles, platforms, gameplay styles, including like FPS, RPG, SLG, RTS, and all other genres. So we have really strong numbers. We have over 120 million MAU. We have speech over 100 billion minutes per month. We have coverage over 190 countries. We have over 200 plus integration, which is already live games, and hundreds more, which is still in integration and evaluation. And we have 99.9% uptime. Actually, in our enterprise plan, if you have less than 99.9% uptime, we actually give some of your money back. So we very stand behind it on reliability and scalability. It's easy to implement. For basic team chat, it only takes 1 day to integrate the SDK into your game. And then for if you say you want 3D positional studio, audio, or other more features, it takes 7 days, and usually it takes less than a month to do the UI integration and QA testing and so on. And we host the service for you. That means that you don't need to worry about, server's not working, a customer is complaining. We handle everything about voice chat for you so you can focus on game development and operations. Okay, and even though we are acquired by Unity end of January, we still support all engines under the sun. For most of our engines, like no matter whether it's your proprietary engine or it is like Lumberyard or like Coco's or CryEngine, we have a core SDK which you can do integrations with any code base. If you use Unreal or Unity, we have plugins, sample code, and documentation to simplify integration. So even though we're now a part of Unity, we will remain engine agnostic for the rest of the time. This is our dashboard. So it's very easy to test us. You can test us for free. Just go to developer.vivox.com/registered, and you can just sign up for our developer account. Put in some basic information about your studio, about your game, where you are, and then we can approve your application. Then you can start testing our SDK. And it's just like a screenshot of our dashboard. Then we have global footprint. We have data center in the US, and then we have Amazon Web Services all around the world. And some of our customers, like bigger customers, like to put our service onto their own data center, and we can do that at a discount as well. So we have amazing features for your players. If you have a 3D positional voice, then, for example, in a game of PUBG, if you have a world chat against your enemies, when your enemies run from right to left, you hear the voice also goes from right to left as well. If the enemy run towards you, you can hear the volume goes louder as well. And then we are, I think, the first and only provider of 3D positional voice scale. And for a game which is like FPS, we strongly improve immersion and realism. Then we also have strong audio quality. Media mixing audio pipeline, those handled by a dedicated server. And we have wideband codec for mobile games. So for example, if you have a weaker mobile phone, lower spec, we actually can automatically detect it and choose lower end codec for you. So it makes sure your phone runs smoothly. If you have a high-end phone like iPhone X or above, then we can automatically detect that you have a strong, like we can use a nice high-quality codec so that you have a better voice, even better voice quality. Then we support text chat, so it comes with, so it can be easily used with your voice chat as well. And users have strong control. If they don't like somebody in their voice channel, then they can mute them. And also, players can join multiple conversations simultaneously with minimal impact on local resources. And I think that's especially important for mobile platforms. So we talked about 3D positional chat earlier. I'm not going to repeat it, but I want to talk about massive scaling for PUBG. Anyone give a guess when we talked to PUBG Corp in 2017 before they launched, how much peak concurrent user they're expecting? Just yell out, like how many peak concurrent users they were expecting? 1 million? No, much less. No, give it a guess. No? Remember, it's the first Battle Royale game in the world at the time. 20,000. They're expecting 20,000. And then in 3 months, they hit 3 million PCU. From 20,000 to 3 million. It was crazy scaling. But we're able to handle it. Since we don't have the data center reserved for them, we just let them burst into AWS to handle the unexpected load. But throughout all 3 months, we didn't drop any voice. Everybody was able to stay in the channel, and they can talk and chat freely. So we're very proud of that. We are very scalable in a very short period of time. And that becomes one of our early success case for scaling. And then we also the only developer which provides service on consoles, desktop, browser, and mobile, which lets all these platforms to play cross platform at the same time. So it's including Windows, Mac OS, Xbox One, PS4, Nintendo Switch, iOS, Android, and browsers. And that was started with Fortnite, our biggest client. And we first launched with Windows, PlayStation 4, Xbox, and then also iOS and Android. And they said, hey, we're actually going to launch on Switch. And we actually crank our SDK for them. And that takes us about 3 to 4 months, but we get it done. And so far, I think we are the only native solution to talk on Switch without using a companion mobile device. And the good thing is, if you want to do a cross-platform game, it's a consistent API and features set on all platforms. That means if you have integrate one platform, then when you try to integrate other platforms, it's the same API, which makes it very easy. And then I think I talk about cross-play technology, and then I talk about fast development of service, new hardware like Switch, and also if you have done console development before, there's a certification process across platforms, and we actually help you with that, so to reduce launch friction. And then we are fully supporting mobile. So not only cross-platform between iOS and Android, but also console, PC with mobile as well. We have low bandwidth and battery usage and executable size. I think our SDK size on the download and also on the extracted package is only 7 megabytes. And our battery drain on speaking, listening is and idle is like 2%, so it's very minimal resource constraint. And then we also try to reduce background noise for mobile device for the best experience, and it's used by over 2 million users every month. So we already have Epic Games using us for Fortnite, and then Nixon NHN in Korea is using us as well, and then we also have Panzer Dog and Matt Finger in the West using us for mobile, and Kolopa, one of the largest Japanese mobile game developer and publisher, is currently evaluating us right now for our mobile SDK. So definitely, I'll say trusted by a lot of large companies around the world. Anyone developing on console here? No? I'll skip that. And then I'll talk about a case study about Rainbow Six Siege by Ubisoft. So back in 2015, they launched Rainbow Six Siege, great game. But at that time, they have their own proprietary peer-to-peer voice chat system. And 2016, they want to start doing esports. And the problem is, when you have a peer-to-peer voice chat, you can see other people's IP address. And you try to do esports, you know what happens. What happens when you can see other when there's prize and money involved? Get a guess? No? Actually, they do DDoS attack. So they make the other opponents immediately lose. And it really sucks. So they come to us and say, we couldn't do esports this way. Like, we need a better solution. So we sit down with them, and actually we call it Project Operation Health. The whole thing is to remove their existing peer-to-peer voice chat, integrate our dedicated server voice chat, so there's no more IP address exposed, and then it roll out to all players at the same time. And then we also help them to fix their UX and functionality, and then they are able to do all esports in a very efficient and balanced manner, because there's no more cheating, there's no more IP address exposed, and now I think Rainbow Six esports definitely have a very good going for them, and they're very happy about it. So in conclusion, we are massively scalable. Each voice chat channel, we can have up to 10,000 or more conversations. And since each game can have multiple channels, it supports millions of players. Our biggest event is Marshmallow event at Fortnite. And guess, at that weekend when Marshmallow becomes the DJ inside Fortnite, how many PCU we have? Anyone? How many PCU? Fortnite, yeah. 10 million. That's the highest peak ever in our company history. It was amazing. We support it. No drop call, no drop voice, everything. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. And then we have reduced bandwidth and CPU impact on the gamer because most of the stuff I handle on our server. No matter CPU and bandwidth use are the same, no matter it's 3,000 or 3 people. We optimize it very, very well without sacrificing bandwidth and quality. Our speed and scale, we can create thousands of conversations per minute by the game master or game operations manager for our groups, guilds, matches, or social areas. And then it's not peer-to-peer, which we talk about. And there's no issues with entity transversal if you're doing console development. And of course, all communications are secure. It's encrypted. So, yep, that's why I said the world's best game communication services available to all the big guys is also available to you. No matter whether you're enterprise or indies, we have the same SDK, same API, same documentation, and we treat you equally well. So that's it. Any questions? Thank you. Oh, yes.
I see some, you said just text, you define text and voice together. So how do you do that? Just like type text or just voice to text by some?
We actually support voice to text at this moment. We have using Google AI to process it.
All right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And before we also had text chat inside our SDK. You can choose whether you use it or not. It's up to you.
I think voice to text by some NLP or recognition by AI is cool. That's good. Thank you.
It's not, I mean, because Google is doing much better than we do, so I think it's better to just use their AI. Yeah.
No, you're going to make me run there. Do you guys have more questions? We do have time if you have things you would like to know. People are awfully quiet in Hong Kong.
It's a long week, long 2 days, I understand. I'm sure they're tired.
Yeah, probably. Last chance? If not, you can always talk to Thomas during the event or contact you by email and everything.
Well, if you have any questions, come talk to me. I don't bite. I'll give you my business card and you can ping me anytime. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you. Yeah.